Staring at the ceiling, trying to fight the feeling. Deep inside your heart, you know it isn't what it was. Anxiety is growing like fog over the ocean. Hoping, wishing, praying that it's gone when you get up. You could try to wrestle with the mirror, but the truth, it can't be any clearer than that. You've been fighting it off just like a fever, but there's no use holding it back. Sometimes you need the rain to know you miss the sun. Sometimes you need the pain to know it isn't love. Sometimes the one you hold, you gotta let him go. You gotta let him go. You gotta let him go. You wanted, knots inside your stomach. Do you have to hurt him so you don't hurt anymore? You could try to wrestle with the mirror, but the truth, it can't be any clearer than that. You've been fighting it off just like a fever, but there's no use holding it back. Sometimes you need the rain to know you miss the sun. Sometimes you need the pain to know.
Hello listeners, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you wherever you are in the world. This is your host Anthony Ebo on the L.I.F.E Podcast. I'm here again. It's been a while since I was on this platform, but I'm back and I'm back to stay. So today the theme of the episode of the Let's Go series on the L.I.F.E Podcast is Let's go and move on. Let's go and move on. And I have with me a very special person, the host and owner of My Life Continues Everyday Podcast, in the person of Amanda Elo. Obuagu Amanda. Amanda, please say hi.
Hi. Wow, he gave my government names. As someone who knows me. Hello CJ, it's good to be here.
Okay, thank you. It's an honor having you here.
Welcome. Same here.
So, I trust you understand what it means to actually let go of something. So, let's establish that.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay, so for the sake of clarity, to let go actually in simple terms means to relinquish your hold of someone. It could be expectations, it could be a thing, letting go of something, but in this context now we'll be dealing with letting go of someone. So because this is relationship based, in the past episodes we looked at letting go of hurt, letting go of pain and all. So on today's episode we're looking at letting go of persons, letting go of relationships. So that understood, to let go of someone means to relinquish your hold of someone, your expectations of someone, because I've heard this most times that people who should not have expectations. That's not true, because you cannot
not have
expectations. Yes, that's the word. You cannot be in relationships without having expectations, no matter how insignificant that relationship might seem. Expectations are things that actually keep relationships or give them their definition and all. So today on this platform with Amanda Elo, we'll be looking at letting go and moving on. Letting go and moving on. So, first of all, I want to ask this question. Do you agree that it's okay to let people go, irrespective of whether the letting go process or the idea of letting go was initiated by them, directly or indirectly, or by you? Let me explain. Sometimes in relationships, someone might just seem to you know that someone that you've been very good with, you notice some subtle change in the person's relationship with you, And just like this clause of, in my head, this marriage has ended. I know you must have heard statements like this. In my head, this relationship ended 3 years ago. I was just waiting for. So you know that kind of thing. So sometimes letting go can actually be initiated by the other person. It could be initiated by you. So regardless of who initiated the process, we'll still come to when it is needed to let people go, to initiate the process of letting someone go. But regardless of whoever initiated the process, do you agree that it's okay to let people go?
The question I have for you, CJ, is why did you pick me for this topic? Why? Why? This is coming at a time in my life where, I don't know, but if you chose me to Jesus, then there's definitely a reason why God and this His universe wants me to talk about it. Well, I may not be the best person to talk about letting go, simply because I'm one person who has let go a lot in life. I've let a lot of things go. Maybe because I have been selfish. And honestly, that selfishness, no matter how anybody accuses me, I mean, sometimes, and in most cases, I've heard other people say at the end of the day, oh, actually, your letting go was not a bad thing, you know? No matter how anybody sees it, my letting go has never been a toxic letting go. I am a person who believes that we have a reason why we're on earth. I'm a very, I'm spontaneous. Some people even think I'm outgoing and lively and stuff. But if there's one thing I'm a very serious person. When I say serious, I mean, so I'm somebody who I'm scared of being let go of. Is there a word like that in English? I don't want to be abandoned. I don't like the feeling.
Fear of being abandoned.
You know how you said it from the beginning that no one does not have expectations. And I'm one person who always had expectations, and they're not even, if you check it carefully, they're not even costly. They're not even expensive. I know that they are not expensive because at the end of the day, these people eventually do these things that I say with some other person, or they eventually come around to say that thing you said, for real. It wouldn't have taken anything away from me. It's just that I didn't think it was that serious, you know. Let me be very specific. I have always wanted marriage. And when I say this, I'm not saying this because I'm looking for pictures of Instagram. I started liking marriage before Instagram came out. I'm serious about it. Probably because I come from a family where they are not perfect people at all. They've had issues. But I had amazing parents. I saw what they did. I want it even better than that. And also the flaws, the mistakes they made, I also know that I want to correct them in my own case. But I saw mostly the kind of love they had. And I've loved marriage since I was young. And because of that, when I eventually came of age to start dating, I told myself from the onset, I love love. I've loved good movies. Even till date, I love feel-good movies. You can call me unrealistic, but I think I have a lot of painful realities in my life to watch actions and pains and horrors. I prefer romance and feel-good movies. Call me an unrealistic person, no problems. Because I know love exists.
Sure, yeah, it does.
And I know beautiful love exists. That thing people permit me to call the name of this brand, Netflix love.
Okay.
Exists.
Yeah, sure, it does.
It exists. Disney love exists. There are also flaws that happen in between. Yeah. I'm not delusional, so much to think, or even delusional at all to think that there are no ups and downs, even as a single human being. I have ups and downs of being single. However, singlehood is also a call. So why would I think that because a few ups and downs came from me as a single person, then singlehood is a curse? No. That is how it is with marriage. That's how I see it, because I have tested relationship. And while they may not have given me all that I wanted immediately, I don't know why God does that though, why He's doing it though. I've also tasted the good part in relationship. So I know those things I'm saying exist. So from the onset, I've always wanted marriage. We're talking relationship. I am thinking marriage. I'm very serious about it. And whenever I bring it up, there's this tone of you are being desperate that comes up, and I don't get it. I do not understand it. What are we doing together if it's not going to be marriage? Okay, this person says, I want marriage. Okay, fine, but it would be at so years. I'm not some, prophet, because a lot of people say I do not have patience. I don't doubt it. I've had impatience, and the truth is, while impatience is terrible, I've had terrible moments with my impatience, and I've had beautiful moments with impatience. Because sometimes my impatience has saved me a lot of heartbreaks that would have come. And sometimes my impatience has made me, it's not called regret because I always love to take responsibilities for my actions, but I've made me go through some sad, really painful times, you know. Sometimes I'm like, maybe if I had waited, would this person had married me or not? Because I've had like exes who eventually got married, that marriage that I was looking for. And you know, if you think I have a bad character, go on and tell me. But they keep saying I don't, you know. Let me know. The problem is you come up and then you come up with, I don't have finance now. I don't think it will work now. And then few years, you're already, you know. Back to my talk about letting go. When I see that, I don't know, what we're doing together is no longer aligning. Like, I'm not a prophet to know that if I continue staying with you, maybe in the next 3 years, I would eventually get married. I don't know how to do that mathematics. You know, because what people fail to say is that in between relationship, things happen. True. You either choose to be truthful or not. True. Things happen. If you're Christian and we go by the principles of faith and the commandments, it's not often easy to, you know, ignore some of those in-betweens. When I say in-betweens, let me be specific. We talk about sex, premarital sex. Okay. Nobody talks about the intimacy that comes in. Nobody talks about the level because it's normal, right? That's how it is. You love this person and you are with this person in the same space. You begin to want this person. That is why we're told on time. You see this thing called, you know, love and everything it's a whole package. And you also have to be very careful because if you dive into it when you're not ready, when you're not ready, that's the word, it might burn you. Yeah. Right? True. It might burn you. This is a person you have passion for. And some of us have love languages, and I'm not ashamed to say that one of my love languages, quality time, attention, and physical touch. I am that person. So now, remember now that I'm Christian and I'm supposed to remember not to curse. What's that quote about not defiling the bed? There's a part of it in the Bible, you know. And then you're human. You're with this person. You're human, yeah. You have all your... And you at some point you want to do stuff. And it's not coming from a place of lust, honestly. Maybe it will eventually be if you continue to... And actually, it eventually becomes lust as you continue to... Because that's the thing. Once you indulge it, and you're not doing it in the proper way, before you know what is happening, you're off. You probably might lose the essence of the relationship. Yeah. And so I say, okay, we are getting to this point. We're at this point. In fact, we're beginning to even do some of these things. Are we an item? Are you about to see my parents? Because anything could happen tomorrow. And then this person tells me, you're running too fast. This is just us. Why are you so... And I understand. I'm beginning to learn that people have different orientations. There are people who come from families that are really lousy. There are people who come from really terrible families and they don't want to even get married in their life. Because they've seen family and they've seen marriage is not exactly... It's not the kind of thing they want to get involved in. Yeah. Do you understand? So I don't have the same idea of this thing with them. That was the mistake I kept making. I think it's now I'm beginning to realize that. Could it be? I'm not saying that's what happened with them. Some of them. Could it be that some of these people didn't come from a place where marriage was a good thing, like where I come from? I'm not saying I'm from a perfect. I have my own path that is terrible. But you see, marriage come from a place where my parents actually show some things that people would call Netflix romance. And I love it. Maybe this person does not come from that kind of place. So what is good about marriage? What if this person comes from a place where all they do is, it's also mechanical, and what they have as an idea of happiness is this thing we're doing together now, this thing that we don't call a name, this thing without commitment. But what you have as an idea of, happiness when a man and a woman is together is marriage, because you believe that is when you have the full opportunity to explore everything. There are some limitations now when you're dating. You can't do some things, and really it's frustrating sometimes. And so you're like, can we get to this point so that I could... And then you know what you're doing with this person. And then this person says, I'm not ready for this commitment. And then you're hurt. And this person is expecting you to understand, let's keep moving, let's keep going, let's see where this takes us. I'm terrible. I hate that thing. Let's see where this takes us. The only time we can see where this takes us is when we're solving mathematics, because I don't know mathematics. We're solving mathematics, and let's see where the answer comes. But you see, we're talking about emotional investment here. And so because I'm a very, very wild lover, And I still want to obey God. And I still want all the love languages that I already mentioned for you. And there's so much conflict here and there. I choose to pick what I think would save me in the long run. I have to be at peace with my God and my conscience. And I also have to do things that tomorrow I wouldn't blame you on me. So what I do oftentimes, which I have been doing, coincidentally, I don't know why this topic is coming. I always tell them, boy, bye. Let's end this. And I'm always the one initiating it. And it hurts. It hurts because I'm the one who initiates it. I do not have the right. It is an unwritten rule. But I do not now have a right to complain, to cry, to weep, or to go to public. But I feel every bit of pain those people feel. Because I have been with these people, and they are amazing people. None of them was abusive. It's just a, ideology difference. Sometimes it is timeline difference. One of them, one time in my life, said he wanted to complete his PhD in the US. Until he's done with PhD, he cannot marry. It was, what's painful? Because I know some of my friends who kept telling me this is not a big deal. Some of them telling me it's a big deal. And I know some of my friends who actually want a man like that. Somebody who is willing to let them explore their career. The person is taking maybe 100 years of their lives to study or do anything. There are women who actually want that kind of person. I'm not that person. And I kept asking God one time, what is this? Right? I know you asked me a question, but I just want to explore all of these parts.
Yeah.
So this person wants to complete the education. This person is going for a very good thing. This person said they come from a family that is not so well to do. And they think that it is by getting to the edge of education, not just in Nigeria, outside Nigeria, that they would break free. You don't blame them. And this is not such a terrible value. It's good. They want to better themselves. This is something tomorrow will not fail them by God's grace unless they die. Or, okay, yes, things happen. But the truth is, for you to empower yourself with education, to a very large extent as PhD, come on. I think it's a good thing and it's a big thing. And it's something I should encourage. I did encourage it, but I said, we can do this while I'm married to you. You want me to explore my career. How about you're going to school and we're married and I'm going to school too? And this person believed that, no, it's going to be a hindrance. Now I had to let go. Because
there was a timeline.
He left the country. Nobody is pressurizing me in this house to marry him. So, but it was actually a timeline thing. But I felt like, okay, so we're going to do everything that people are married to, but we'll still not get married. And then worst thing, he left the country. He had to leave the country for it. And I told myself, you cannot deceive yourself because there are things I look up to. The little things I look up to. Now, expectations, like you said, little things. I want us to have, nobody is wealthy, we don't have the money. But at least I want to be able to have, you come around sometimes. I want to be able to go around your side. I want you to be, I just want us to have the same time zone. Something is happening in my office or place of work and I'm calling you right now to tell you, see what's up. Because I cannot be calling you now and your times. I just want these things. And I know it won't work. Somebody said patience. I did not have the patience. Maybe I'm going to regret it. I don't know. But that has gone. And I ended it. Now I had to do this because for my own sanity and because I felt at some point that this is, if really somebody wants to be with you, I've heard it before, but I also don't want to push anybody. Somebody wants to be with you, they will do what they have to do to be with you. Or at least make certain compromises. But it seemed like in most cases, whenever it comes to that thing called marriage, nobody is willing to make that compromise. Well, I had one of my exes eventually get married. But it's the truth, and I'm not going to kill myself. I don't know for whatever reason it is. I always end a relationship because I want my sanity, I want my peace of mind. And because it seems like our intentions about the relationship at the time does not align. That does not make theirs bad. It's not aligning. So I had to let go. It is paining me till dates, but I'm carrying it and I'm moving on because I believe that I don't want to be in a place where, imagine if I was there with these people and eventually the marriage did not happen. I am not happy. I am not moving on. They are not moving on.
And so you were just locked up in one specific line.
Do you understand?
Yeah, just like you've read this book, Great Expectation, Miss Havisham.
Charles Dickens. Yes.
So that kind of scenario, it's just
there were good times and bad times. Yeah. Those were the worst. I'm trying to remember that part anyways, but yeah. So you're stuck in a place that you're not so happy. In some cases, it's something else. It's not just this, but so many things. And yes, I'm one person who lets go a lot. I hate it. but I have always been faced with that responsibility of letting go. Some days I tell myself probably I'm just a very toxic person, or maybe I'm too. But I think that it is important to understand that you as a human being on earth, you've got your purpose. Back to what I was going to say initially.
Yeah.
You've got your purpose on earth. You must at every point try to talk with yourself or whoever it is you believe in to be sure that the people you move with would help you achieve whatever that purpose is.
Yes.
So if there is anybody you're moving with who is drawing you back from it or who is not giving you a reason to fulfill that purpose, you would have to let go. If it's taking away your peace, that peace, when you sleep, you begin to ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? This compromise I'm about to make, even though I love this person and we're doing this, and I'm doing it for myself too because I love the pleasure of staying back here, but is God happy about this? Will my parents be glad if they hear this kind of thing? Years from now, what if this person eventually changes their mind? Where would I be? Would I, these are questions. And then when you think all of these things and you see that your peace has been threatened, you may have to let go. So yeah, I just hope I did not speak more than I should. I feel like I talked so much, and at the end of the day, I don't know if I got to the answer.
No, you made your sort
that was required.
Intertwined in what you said. Yeah, letting go for me, I think I wanted to ask whether it's sad, whether it's exciting, or whether it has mixed feelings. But
I think it has. Okay, all right.
I would say it has mixed feelings because there are times when you let people go and you're like very excited. I've had that feeling where I let someone go and I was very excited. Like I was happy with them.
That must have been really toxic. Even if not the person, the situation must have been toxic.
Very toxic. Like within me, I was just like,
what was I doing?
How could that moment do? I just took a breath of life and I was like, thank God. I actually danced in my room to show you how.
Can you imagine? That's sad.
Okay, the thing
and good for you. Yeah.
It was good for me because in my mind I was holding on to expectation comes in now. It was meant to be, this was someone I approached for a relationship, and then in my mind I thought, okay, the person said, okay, at this point I don't know you that much. No, the person actually said, you don't know me too well. So I just said, okay, probably it's okay, let's be friends and then try to know ourselves more. And we are in different places actually. And then see where it goes now actually comes in. See where it takes us.
Yeah.
So because it's coming from a place of uncertainty now, it's not like we've been friends before. We've known each other but we've not been close, and then this thing just came up. I was like, okay, let me just give it a try. And then it was following through, things were going on smoothly, and all of a sudden there's this bridge. Like it's just like, let's say you're studying ABCD now. A, B, C, D. You can recite the 26 letters of the alphabet. English alphabet perfectly well. But then there comes a time where it's like you're not having dyslexia. You can't even, you don't know which whether it's A that is first or whether it's Z that is last. Like you now start saying A, E, Z, Y, W, stuff like that. Now there's this bridge in communication now. You talking, there's no alignment of purpose. Okay, before I even go to the alignment of purpose, there is no understanding. Communication is ruptured. Communication that was perfect before now becomes ruptured. Within me, I knew that, okay, something was wrong. But then when the issue is confronted, it's like, I don't have anything to say.
That's the worst. When you allow your people outrightly deny the truth, how they feel, and they let you have the responsibility of taking the decision, so that they will say, hey, it's you that ended it, it's not me.
Yeah.
For heaven's sake, you know something is wrong. Why can't we talk about it?
So you say,
I feel you.
I don't have anything to say. Nothing is going on in my life.
Hi.
Oh. So it's now like me keeping everything going. So I'm like worn out. It's just like you are in the same
Yes, I know what you're saying.
You are to do chores together, and then you are in the same room with someone, and let's say it's two to tango. Let's say either the person helps you with the chores or the person keeps you company. But then this person is just there. Chores the person is not doing. Company the person is just there. So you are doing the chores and you are keeping the person company.
Yeah.
So it's very, very sad.
Tasking. Sad.
Pain within me. And because I'm someone that I like being original, I like it when I remain true to my words. So I'll try my best to the farthest end to be sure that, okay, if the fault is not from me, I did my best. So it's actually very hard for me to initiate that process of letting go. Previously in the past, I used to, when things don't go well in my relationships, or whether friendships, or I've just dated once. So it's not like I've had the experience of dating as it is, like I've just dated once. So mostly what I've had we are and still are close relationships with people, and then relationships where in my mind I expected will lead to probably dating, relationship and marriage, but they never happened. So I like being original, just like I said, and I like being true to my word. So if I said I want us to be together so that we will know ourselves more, and probably if it works out between us, we'll probably get married. So when things go wrong, I still have that in my head that, okay, this is why I am with this person. So I won't just want to back out because I'm having these issues with this person or stuff like that. I'll try to fight to know, okay, how is this thing going to be? This thing we are facing, is there a way out of it? But why this one was just very spectacular was I did all and from my own end, I know that we never had any issue with no quarrel, nothing. The relationship was just there. It was just substanceless, without substance. And so just like I was just in a particular place. It's not like this person is motivating me in some grand way or so. It's just like I am alone in a relationship, and then I am with, I don't even know how to explain it. So in that, the
state of limbo, you're not here, you're not there, you're just stuck.
You're just there. Yeah, I've had two different occasions. It's more like, okay, where do I even stand? Do I even have the same? Does this person's purpose of having this relationship align with mine? So the day that I danced was the day I got the confirmation that we are not on the same page. So I was very liberated on my own part, because I was feeling I had an obligation to fulfill to this person.
Yeah.
And trust me when I say, just like you said, this person is a very nice person. These persons are beautiful people, but without...
It just doesn't align.
It just doesn't align. So...
And one of the things that I think is, I don't know, I don't claim to be an expert, but I just want to say that I think people don't tell themselves the truth.
True.
And because, yes, people, I don't know why. Or maybe people don't take life as seriously as I do. And eventually, it still hits them. Because how can you not tell yourself the truth? I've come to realize, because I also used to be like that. You lie to yourself. You lie to yourself. I've heard people say, "Lord, hi God, love is not that essential in marriage. So long as your people, anyway, it could work." And look, if you're a person who realizes that you are not emotional, I don't know if that's possible, but I've seen people.
Yeah, people like that.
They are not. They don't. Sometimes I envy them. I think people lie to themselves a lot, and we need to stop lying to ourselves. We're following a certain rule by a certain institution, a certain society. Oftentimes, it doesn't work for us. So somebody believes that because I'm a woman, I shouldn't be the first person to talk about marriage, because it will look somehow. It will feel somehow, it will look somehow. It's just going to portray me as a terrible person. I don't know, but I think that is one of the things we also, because the society carries a lot of things on its head. could blame the society for a lot of things, but that's true though. I don't know what the society says about you saying it first as a woman, but I want you to understand that you'd be lying to yourself, because the society will not help your life when you are in a relationship for years. And eventually this man comes up or this woman comes up and says, I'm not doing this with you because I wanted to marry, I just wanted to catch cruise. Society will not do anything for you then. It is only you who knows where it's hurting you and where it is, where you're excited or where it tickles you. How about you tell yourself the truth? I want to talk about marriage. I want to marry. Why can't we talk about it? And then you keep lying to yourself that no, I don't want him to see me as desperate. And so you're there. And you're just there. And then tomorrow, this person is doing a lot of crazy stuff to you, and for one reason or the other, they leave you and they get married to some other person tomorrow, and you're angry, you're bothered, you're like, what's this?
But wait,
men are this, yeah?
Sorry to cut you short. In just this scenario you painted now, how would you not know the purpose of a relationship from the beginning?
Oh, I tell you most solemnly, some people do not really give it. They don't give three flying whatever. Let me not use the word here. Some do not care. Yes. Some do not care. And that's the problem. We're lying to ourselves. I like people that are truthful to themselves. Oftentimes people like that are seen as wild. People don't like, especially the older people, they don't like them. But I love them. You come to a person, you say, hey, CJ, I like you. What I like you for is for intimacy. I like you because I just want to have sex with you only. That's the relationship I want to have with you. You see, that's beautiful. You've told CJ. And then CJ could decide on his own if he wants to do the same thing with you.
Yeah.
But you're lying to yourself. You see CJ, or I see CJ, this is what I want from CJ. And yet I make CJ believe that I want something more than sex. Yeah. Maybe not even sex. I'm looking for an emotional. It's a lie. You don't even like it when CJ buys you flowers. You don't want all those emotional things from him. That's not what you want from him. Or her. We lie to ourselves. I'm not even talking of religion or spirituality here. Okay, I'm not doing this because I'm not supposed to do this because God said. I'm talking about what you feel.
Yeah.
It is when you know what you feel that you begin to now caution yourself, or you begin to take some steps. If you tell yourself, okay, this is what I feel for this person, then you can now tell yourself, oh, as a Christian, I'm not supposed to look at lust with this person. There has to be something more in CJ. Or even if there's not something more in CJ, I let CJ go.
Let it go.
Because I can't go and meet CJ and this is unfair. Am I looking at CJ as an object of what?
Of pleasure.
Unless I meet CJ, of pleasure. So unless CJ says, hey, yeah, I'm fine, I'm cool with it, let's do this. You're Christian. I'm talking now to Christians. You know you cannot be doing this before marriage. So you also have to think that. But let's go back to the main thing, right? You're lying to yourself. Come on. Amanda, I like you. I like the way you speak. I like the way you think. I want to be with you in a relationship, but not enough to marry you. Say it. Let it hurt Amanda. Then Amanda will go, or Amanda will stay. Anything she's doing from then on, she knows. But we don't do it. We lie to ourselves. It will grow one day, it will not grow one day. And that is how so many nonsense happens. And then if I discover a thing like this, I have to let go. Yes, and then you end up hurting yourself and hurting somebody.
For a period of time that would have been productive.
Yes, that would have been productive. And in fact, some people who realize that they've messed up, instead of sorting it out and letting go, which is where letting go is a beautiful thing and a tough thing, but yet a beautiful thing, they don't let go. They look for a substitute. And then they are keeping this person for one purpose and they are keeping the other person for the other purpose.
True.
Them on, or they are leading one on, or they are leading. We lie to ourselves a lot. Letting go hurts a lot. CJ, I know that letting go hurts a lot because I have let go. I have had to let go for almost all my life. I am saying this from a place of experience. It's painful. It is still paining me till today. So I understand that sometimes people are scared of this thing. Because I also know that those days when I had to let go, those people wanted to let go too. Not because they hated me, because I've never let go because I hated the person. They understood what I was saying, but they didn't want to initiate it first. They didn't want to go with the pain of, I ended this beautiful relationship.
Yeah.
Let that be the first person to end it. It pains me. It hurts me. But because sometimes I think it hurts me because probably the thing that I leave them for, I've not found it yet. And it happens. I think it's natural. The devil is funny. This could also be what it is, but I doubt if it is what it is. Some days I tell myself, was it worth it walking away from this relationship? Couldn't you have just waited? But then again, something tells me, no, you shouldn't have waited. You couldn't have waited. It was probably the walk that you took away from their lives that made them begin to take life seriously, or begin to think towards this direction or that direction. Yeah. So even though it hurts you so much, somebody had to take that walk, and it was you. Unfortunately, it's always me. I mean, I don't know if they're the ones who walk away, if it would be nice for me, but it's just you take that decision. And also, there are so many days also when there's peace always in my heart. And then there's this day when I feel very good because I hear myself tell myself, or I hear, it's like you did a very noble thing. Because guess what? What would you have been doing in this relationship? You would only draw this relationship, do really ungodly things. That is the truth, because there's now too much. No, I don't want to say space, because there are people who genuinely do not get married and they date for long years and they get married eventually, though they might have their good reasons. But it is different when you are the one who wants the marriage. You think, or you want this thing, you want this situation in this relationship. You think it can be achieved, but that person doesn't want it. It kind of defeats
the purpose of the relationship. Or it
defeats the purpose of the relationship.
And
yes, it defeats it because the both of you are, what are you people doing together again? You're supposed to be helping each other to become one entity.
Yeah.
And that entity is, supposed to be for good. So you're not supposed to be confusion. The Holy Spirit is not an author of confusion.
Yeah.
He wants marriage, but the other person doesn't want marriage. And so the person who doesn't want marriage, I mean, the only reason I feel as a Christian, I'm talking as a Christian, and probably not for other people. The reason why the whole being together with a person exclusively happens, or was initiated or instituted in the first place, was because of marriage. Otherwise, we should all flow with our friends. You just be friends with the guys be friends with the ladies, and we just move on. But if we're doing that exclusive, where I tell you so many things about my life, where I allow you the liberty of some things, at least some simple casual cases, there's a soul blending, that's the word. With you, I think that there is something we're supposed to, achieve together as one. And that happens in marriage. Honestly. Do you understand? So when we're not, when one person is saying they don't want marriage, the other person says they want marriage, you will have to examine it, because the truth is, unless the both of you can manage and one person says, okay, I will wait. No, there's a difference. I will wait because I have seen that waiting for you is not a problem. One, it is worth it. Then two, it is really worth it because what you're doing now, you cannot do it any other time apart from now. And also, I'm not in a rush. I'm not saying I'm in a rush, but I naturally don't know what I'm going to be doing with you just when we're just there. We can date, I understand, but I want to know where we're going to. As soon as I figure out that you're not sure, but I'm giving this example, I'm always using this.
Yeah, this example that you're giving now is just so funny and coincidental that this is just an explanation of my first and only dating relationship. Like, from the beginning, it was established, okay, we're going to date for marriage, right? Both of us were on the same page on that. Then it got to a time we had some issues, and then we broke apart. I actually initiated the breakup because I felt that at that point, even though we were on the same page, our values, principles, and ideologies, we're not the same. Yes, there were some major things that were key pillars that I looked out for, but at that point I wasn't seeing.
They were not there.
There was always this clash whenever we come together. So I said, no, let's just go. We were cool.
Oh, that's because you told yourself the truth, though. Yeah. You see the problem? You see how you said you people are cool? Because that's another thing people have not realized, that you can be cool and still break up. And it's not because you want to fight. Because I'd rather you do it before you get into marriage. Because the problem is, people take anything in their relationship. They take anything in their relationship but they don't take anything in marriage. It should be the other way around. I'm not asking you to take anything in marriage. At least there are reasons to do something. I mean, because nobody wants to be killed. But people will be like, that's just relationships. People like us who try to, this is not how I think it should be, because we are looking towards a big picture. Either we are called nags. Okay, they often don't call, okay, maybe not me, but it's either you're called a nag, or people say, you're carrying this thing on your head too much. You're over, enthusiastic about, and then this person forgets that this is the point where we should be over enthusiastic. That is why it is called courtship and dating. Is now. So that we'll fight all those fights and do all those things, so that when we enter the marriage, that does not mean I will see everything about you. Of course, there are still things that would unfold, but at least to a very large extent, we have tried knowing each other. And the truth is, people should be truthful in relationships. Show the other person who you really are. Don't worry. If they won't be for you, then they should leave. You'd find another person. It will help you so that when you get into marriage, you'll be like, I've seen this thing before. We will handle it because we handled it before. But no. People will take anything in relationship and say, just like you just said now, they would overlook this. They would say, or rather, they would look at this and say, but we're cool. Why are we breaking up? We're cool now. It's not, you don't have to break up with people only when you're not cool. That is the problem we've had. And that's the thing. I think that's another thing. People keep looking at me sometimes with surprise, and I think this is what ended my relationship. They did not do this to you. You did not do this to them. And then that's all. I'm like, yes. I don't think we have to be fighting, killing ourselves before we end it. That too should make you end it. But there are cases where you understand that your values don't align. That does not make them bad people, by the way. It means it is not for you and them. You have to let go. We're all pieces of a puzzle. They would find that other missing part that would make them a whole, solved puzzle. But for you people, it's not it. And you cannot say, because we're cool, let's let this thing keep going. No. You have to address it. And if it is not working, you have to let go, so that you'll be sane enough to enter another one eventually. That is if you wait and heal. Then they too will be sane enough. So you don't have to make this person so frustrated that they begin to see every man on earth as the demon. No. Or you make them so frustrated they see every woman as a problem. No.
Thank you.
Tell yourself the truth. Yes. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Sometimes lots of people, it happened to me too. We hold on to, okay, we've had this perfect picture. I'm cool with this person. This person is all good. We are like so blend. We understand ourselves. Like, it just feels like you people are already married. And it just happens that you people know that you cannot be together. Even if the other
there are things that won't work.
You just know that this won't work. Just let it go. And people hold on.
People
to
don't like. That's why I said people don't tell themselves the truth.
Going back to it, that at some point, even when something better is coming for them in the future, because of that past picture they already have, picture of what they have called perfect in quotes in the past. That picture of this is what is perfect keeps on haunting them. Now, even when someone comes with, they'll be like, no. They still look back. Is this person like? No, this person is not like my ex. They'll start comparing.
So I think what you said is true, because that's another side to letting go. We're done letting go, right? So how do you move on? I think that's part of it.
Letting go and moving on.
I'm moving on. It's a thing again, which I think I'm also guilty of. And you see, that is why I think I've learned so much in my entire life that I wouldn't have learned if people were talking to me. And I think I've never even had people talk to me about some of these things. I don't even know why. Maybe I'm the one who didn't go out for the knowledge. I don't know. But I've had to experience some of these things the hard way, some of them the sweet way too. I've had good things happen to me too. So moving on is a big deal, CJ. I tell you this because, like you said, comparing to exes. I once told somebody that, this is a true story, and I've told God, I don't know, but this is the truth. I once told somebody that I have been in relationships where it seems like every time, whenever marriage is mentioned, something bad begins to happen. It is either these people are not ready for marriage, or there's not enough finance. It kept happening. In fact, for the first time, CJ, this is the only person who from day one told me, I want to marry you. and I can't marry you today. I've been following you for the past 9 months. No, it's not. It wasn't up to 9 then, was it? September, October, November, December, January, February, April. 7 months. Yes. I did not know. The person was in my church and was watching, was taking notes. I used to see this person. As I said, they've been watching me. I'm the kind of person they want to be with. However, would I allow them into my life so we can begin dating, so we get to know each other more, enough to know if we can now settle down? But for him, he thinks I'm the one he wants to marry. For another person, this conversation is a no-no. Why would you say this on the phone? But for me, it was beautiful. I think because we also had the conversation before then. Just, what I want to say is that this person, from the onset, seemed like the one. This person seemed like the one. This person was so cool that one day they came to my house, to my parents' house. Apparently their father, and my father grew up in the same hood. Apparently. You get? It was, and I told him the day we started talking that, wait, you people still live here? My parents lived here. I'm sure one person in your house will know my family. It's funny, so many coincidences. This person loved most of the things I loved. I'm bringing this up so you see what happened. It was cool. It was going well. The only thing that was stopping us from marrying daddy was finance. There was no money. This person was still trying to get themselves, together, build themselves. And I was there. I told myself again, it's fine. I really do not mind. This person came to my family house. As already said, talked to my father. That's how serious it was. But then there was still no money. And we're hustling together, hustling. I was, but something was happening, CJ. It seemed like as soon as he even came to now meet my father the second time, the first time he just met my father, they just knew about his father and my father were here. So when he came down for the official one and they blessed us in my house and we left together, it seemed like that was when his entire business from the beginning started falling. It fell to the ground. Go. Yes. I know I'm supposed to be with this person. I was supposed to be with this person and cheer them up, which I did. I was always, it was hard for this person. It was so hard. I don't know if you've seen a man without money. That you're a man, so I don't know how you feel without money. Especially a man who thinks he is responsible. Yes, especially a man who thinks he is responsible for something.
For someone.
Or should be responsible for something and doesn't have it. It was hard. Because even when I was trying to do what I would do, it was seeming as if this person was not complaining, they weren't making me feel bad. They were always hailing me. In fact, I got a job by that time. There was a job I had then that was very tasking. This person would follow me to where I would fix it because it was a remote job. He was very supportive. I was also trying to be supportive. God knows I was trying. But for every time I was supportive, it seemed like he went down 7 times. Do you know what I began to think, CJ? I said to myself, are you sure I don't have a curse following me? Because how is it that I've been suffering with my ex? As soon as this person said they are leaving the country, that problem started. That person is living big now outside the country. I'm talking of the other ex. Why is it that it is when they want to blow that something comes? And until you live their lives, that's how I turned it to. Until you live these people's life, it's as if they will continue being in. Because I feel like if my ex had enough money, he wouldn't even be thinking of PhD in the US before marrying me. If he was as rich as, because he kept telling me, I don't want to marry, I don't want to have an average family, I want to be very wealthy. If he was very wealthy, he would have married me. But he wanted a certain level of, right? I could be talking about just saying this.
Even if he was very wealthy, he would have said, okay, I want to be more wealthier.
I know what this thing you're saying now, it's easy for you to say because you're not the one in the thing. And what you're saying is the truth. I think it is. I'm beginning to think it is. Because you know how the mind works. I'm talking about comparing here. The mind works in a very funny way. So I sat down and I said, hey, I know that before this guy met me, this person I'm talking about now, who met my parents, I know when he came in, he didn't have anything. In fact, it was when we met that he now got some things for his business, But I didn't think of that. I kept telling myself, why is it any time that marriage is mentioned, when it's time to be serious, things begin to crumble? It means two things. I concluded that it only means two things. It is either I'm the one. Number one, it is either I'm blocking these people's blessings. I don't know how. I'm not a demon. I believe. But who knows? Who knows what is following me? That's what I said. When some things hit you, you'd be amazed at the way you think. I said, because this is beginning to happen so much. This is the one person that it seemed gave me the perfect, this is what I want. And then as soon as he met my family, for real, even met a certain I think something is wrong. I think I'm blocking this person's blessings. Either because there are things, I began to judge myself. That was one. The second thing I said is, or maybe I was not meant to be married. Maybe I'm not meant to be married. Because why is it that whenever marriage comes up, this is what I concluded. And so I told this person to his face, this is what I think. You remember that story in the Bible where they said Jonah was sent to Nineveh and he was trying to escape God.
He came out and told the men, yes, I think I'm the one responsible for this one.
Exactly. He causing this thing. As soon as they pushed Jonah down, everything went well. Do you know the funny thing, CJ? The day I made this decision, I went for evening mass. That was the reading of the evening. I'm telling you. That was the reading that evening. That could
be a coincidence, right?
I know it could be a coincidence. I'm just trying to tell you how this comparison thing and moving on can be. But I did go ahead. I felt so bad. I had to tell this person, I think you should go. I think I'm blocking blessings. This person was like, what are you saying? You know how you're telling yourself, hey, and I'm a good talker. So, but the person didn't get it. The person was like, why is this happening? But truly, things were not going well. I could see his attitude. He was becoming cold, and it wasn't like it was his fault. Things were not going well for him. And I didn't like where we were. So I actually made a prayer to God, I told God, if truly I'm not the Jonah in this boat, bless this person before I take this decision. But if I'm the Jonah in this boat, I'm about to tell this person this thing and nothing will stop me. So it's either you stop me by doing some miracle. Well, the miracle did not come, CJ, and I ended that relationship. I didn't end it per se. I told this person, let me shift first. If you make money and you still think that I'm worth it, you can come back. If I'm still there, fine. That was another thing that hurt me. They didn't even push too much. But what would they have pushed for? And the painful thing is that this person, when the person left, we left, the person just went off. The person said we could still be friends. It wasn't even the person that brought up that we should still be friends. Yeah, so the person said we could be friends. It was the person that offered the friendship immediately after I said, I didn't even say it was over because I kept telling the person, even at this point, I love you. I know somebody will say, this girl she said she loves this person, she's walking away. But that's that point I was trying to make, letting go. But in this particular case, I thought letting go was the best thing, so that they would find themselves. Because he also said he needed space at some point too. He said he needed space. And then I told myself, this one that he's needing space and these things are happening, are you people sure I'm not supposed to let go? Whether it was anxiety. Yeah, I don't know about not meaning to be, because that person was close to being perfect for the person. But it's fine, maybe it was not meant to be a bit. So it gave me that thing in my head. And I think the person was so hurt. They said they didn't want to be talking to me anymore. It's painful, but that happened. Now, here's the thing about moving on and what you see, because of what has happened in my past relationships, I concluded that this is it. I still am not, I concluded that this could be the reason for whatever it is that's happening in this new relationship. That could be true, that could be a lie. It's probably because I've not moved on from the last one. Because why are you even doing that? Why are you comparing what you have with what you used to have? It's not okay. Why are you thinking that what happened in the past is what is happening? Something is wrong, and that's what's going to bring me to the next thing. We don't take healing seriously here. People think once
you let go, then healing
Even if the next person is the right person, you could ruin. Yes, if you meet the right person, even after coming out of a toxic relationship, a very good person, the right person, the perfect person, giddy bang. If you have not healed, you will ruin it. And so, yes, I'm telling you, I'm not sure I ruined it with this person I talked about, because I've told God to do what He has to do, or I told God at the time to do what He has to do. But the truth is, I still feel to a certain, just a little extent, that maybe what I did was a bit too
extreme.
What's the word? Unreasonable. It was unreasonable, because what if I'm not the person blocking the blessings? You know, so you're judging this because of the other people. What if the other people were just not meant to be in your life? And so you concluded that it was because you left their lives that they became better. Come on. Well, that's that. I think it was because I did not wait to heal from the past ones, which is another thing we should take seriously in this part of the world. As you let go, you have to understand that you're a human being with a heart. When you let go, remember that you used to love this person before, unless you were lying to yourself. So when you loved that person, you know, I don't think love just runs off. It takes time to, whether it fades or whatever it is that happens to it, it takes time. So you cannot just wake up immediately and say, oh, I found this right person, let me just jump into it. It will hurt you and it will haunt you unless you meet somebody who is super strong. Somebody who has a therapy, tendency. A therapist tendency. That's when you survive it. Otherwise, you carry a baggage from the past and come in. So when you let go, you need to reevaluate yourself and check why you had to let go. And take your time. And breathe. And pray. And move. And when you move on, try to move on. For as long, if it takes you years, please take those years. Unless you begin to see that, of course, you're now becoming, come on, why are you spending so much time? But if you really, really think you need to heal, whenever you remember this person, there's this pain, there's this, you don't want to go forgive them. You have to really wait to be sure what it is. You might even in the long run find out that it wasn't even those people that were your problem, that you were your problem. But you have to heal. Yes. And then when you now discover and you now heal, you can move into a newer one. So when you let go and you're supposed to move on, please heal before moving to another, relationship or another stage.
There's this thing that happens in relationships too, that I think people should be cognizant of. You know, when you're coming into a relationship, you have your standards well stated out. Okay, this is what I want from the beginning, very beginning. Yeah. And then you have your principles, your values, your philosophies about life, and you bring it. But midway into the relationship, you begin to make a lot of compromise. Let me compromise on this, which is not totally bad in itself. Yes.
Bad in itself.
You begin to make a lot of compromises. But then, down the line, when you see that you are not with this person, some people still carry, instead of going back to, okay, reevaluate. Okay, yes, I know I was with this person, just like you said now. Reevaluate and know, okay, this standard I used to have and this which I have now, which one should I work with? Should I go back to who I was in the past? Or should I continue from where I stopped? Or should I actually create a new slate entirely? I think there are times when we just need to create a new slate. Going to who you were before can be good actually, because probably you were in your perfect state then before you enter the relationship. But then there's this thing called time and development. So you would have developed from who you used to be to who you should be in the future, or who you should be now. But then people tend to take, this was the standards, or this were the standards that was working for me at so point. And then you want to use the same standard and take it to someone entirely different from who is just like, let me use oils now to give this analogy with oils. In Nigeria now we use vegetable oil. That's soya oil, groundnut oil, olive oil. All of them, we call them vegetable oil. We use it to prepare things like rice, sauce, and the rest of it. But we use red oil now, which is oil from palm kernel, to
palm nuts,
to prepare things like soup, beans, porridge, and the rest. So now let's say someone was preparing soup, and okay, it is soup you're preparing, and you need red oil. Another person is preparing sauce and knows that, okay, to prepare this sauce, I need vegetable oil. But then, instead of coming to the realization that, okay, my vegetable oil can't prepare soup for me, that to prepare soup, I need red oil. People just switch it off. And when your food, does not come out well, you now start looking for who to blame, when actually you are the person who is responsible. Yes. And that brings me to accountability. I know yesterday we were on Say It As It Is platform on Twitter, now X, and accountability was being discussed. I want to ask now, does accountability hold enough ground to let someone go? Like, what role does accountability hold in?
Okay, so I think that's the thing again. It's a thing, yes, it does in some cases. I mean, if we're talking about accountability, I was saying somebody owning up to, what the actions, taking responsibilities for the actions, giving accounts. Yes. So if a person becomes irresponsible, if a person does not, you agreed from the onset, this is what we should do together in a relationship, and the person begins to take another step, and is not willing to give explanations for it, it is enough to in fact, this is the ground that is very easy to let go of. Because because this is not what we agreed anymore. This is not what we agreed to anymore. And then this is what you're doing. New things are coming up and you're not explaining why. And when you explain why, it's not seeming like it's something that favors, and I say do not do it and then you continue doing it. No, I have to let go. So yes, I think it forms enough grounds for letting go. If that's the question you asked me.
Yeah, because recently I just had to let someone go because of that. The person,
I feel you,
committed something I did not know. But now the person felt remorse, with church mind, to come and tell me, okay, I committed this, so I did this, and I'm sorry. First of all, the act the person committed was something grandiose. Not so grandiose, but it was, okay, let me be clear now. The person lied to me. So now I'm asking the person, why did you lie to me? And the person is now, instead of, there's a difference between explaining with remorse and explaining to justify your lying. It's established that you know that, okay, what you did was wrong, and then you apologized, in quotes. But then, now, after apologizing, the person did not own up to what the person did. It was more like, okay, I've apologized to you. You should do whatever you want to do with the apology. Feel any way you want to feel, but the fact is, I've apologized to you. Yeah, I've apologized. I'm sorry. So, but people tend to fail to understand that sorry or apology does not actually solve everything. There are things that dialogue, you need to dialogue. So I feel like when people no longer in relationships, whatever kind of relationships, when people no longer, I'll use this word, when people are no longer responsible, yes, that's the word. When people are no longer responsible, when people fail at being accountable to themselves, first of all, and to the other party in the relationship, I think it's enough grounds to let someone go. I had a friend that was ill for a while, so because she was actually overstressing herself. So I told her that you're overstressing yourself, and even though you are recovering from this illness, that if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't rest, if you don't cut down on your stress, you will still fall. There's a probability that you will fall ill again. So I told her that you first of all, you have to be responsible to yourself. You should have to be accountable to yourself. You have to be accountable to me as your friend, because if, let's say, you fall ill now, that something bad happens, it will pain me. It will affect our friendship. I had to tell her that I have to hold you responsible for your actions. So I think accountability is actually very key. Very key. So just to wrap it up, thank you very much, Amanda, for your time. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. It was an amazing one.
Thank you very much. To wrap it up, I think there are key things we need to note in letting go and moving on. In your relationships, when there is a disalignment of purpose, this is something very key. When there is a disalignment of values, principles, life philosophies, when you just know that, no, you're not on the same page anymore, just let go. Then timeline difference. When what you want from this person is not forthcoming, this person feels that this person will be able to fulfill this, but there is no stated time when this person will fulfill this. Just like Amanda said now, you're expecting marriage from someone, you're expecting to be in a marital relationship with someone in the future, but this person is like, okay, well, I don't know when it will happen. So it's just like you are in this cloud of uncertainty.
Uncertainty is the word. You don't know where you're going.
Just let go for your own sanity.
Even though nobody knows where they're going to.
Yeah, we don't know for sure, but at least we know the next step. So when you don't know the next step from where you are standing, that's terrible. Yeah, and then when something is messing with your peace, I've been in a situation whereby I was in a state where I could not even sleep for 3 consecutive days because the relationship I had with someone was messing with my mind. So when something like that happens, feel free to dialogue, but when you dialogue and you're not getting the fruits you need, I think for the sake of peace, for the sake of your mental health, let go. If it's toxic, let go. If someone is not willing to compromise on something that is very key, let go. And just like Amanda said, when you let go, don't forget that the healing process is actually as important and even more important than the letting go. The letting go is like the first step, but then healing is actually more important, so that you don't bring in baggages of rubbish into yourself or into the next level you're going to.
Yeah, there's one more thing we didn't tell them, which I think a lot of people need to do. Being very honest with yourself.
Yeah, being very honest with yourself.
You know, we should be honest with ourselves, tell ourselves the truth. I don't like this, no matter how the people say this. It's not sitting.
Yeah, not just honest to yourself, but honest to the other person as well.
The partner, yes. That's true. That's true. To the other person, it's important to tell yourself the truth, because that's why we have so many people. My mother said I should marry this woman for this thing, whatever it is, maybe for decency or whatever. But then after the wedding, the mistress they keep outside is a very wild woman. If you love a wild woman, marry a wild woman. Don't say you don't want to marry a wild woman. What would my parents think? Marry a wild woman. Don't
Prove to yourself.
Marry whoever it is, and then you keep the person there. You're making them pass through hell. Then you're rolling with a wild person, and that wild person you're rolling with, you'll not even allow them to marry another person. You know, you're just constituting nuisance. Tell yourself the truth. I want to marry a bad person, I marry a bad person. You want a good person, you go for a good person, and be good and tell them the truth. It's important we tell ourselves the truth. Thank you, CJ. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for being on this episode. It's really an honor.
Thank you so much. It's always an honor being here.
As I said at the beginning of this Letting Go series on the second episode of the second season of this podcast, I said it's okay not to be perfect.
And I will say, in the words of Marilyn Monroe, imperfection is beauty, madness is genius, and it's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. It's okay to be imperfect. But being imperfect doesn't mean you should not strive to become perfect. But let your striving for perfection not cost you the essence of life. You should not lose the meaning of life in trying to be perfect. I'll end this episode with the words of Roy T. Bennett. Follow your heart. Listen to your inner voice. Stop caring about what others think. Thank you, dear listener, for listening to this episode of the Life Finding Me podcast. Hope you are enlightened. The Life Finding Me podcast was produced and presented by me, Anthony Abel. This podcast is available on Anchor FM by Spotify, on Spotify, and on Google Podcasts. Until I come your way next time, I remain your anchor, Anthony Abel. Do have a wonderful week and be a better you.
Lord, I come to you. I give you all I am. My successes and my failures I lay down. I surrender my perceptions. I'm trusting in your grace. So I enter your presence to wait. In the stillness, in the quiet, all my shame falls away as I seek your face. I hear you calling, gentle